Are you tired of feeling misunderstood? Want to connect more deeply with others? Discover the secrets to mastering effective communication and watch your relationships transform. When it comes to communication, most people think they know it all. They think that communication is just about talking and listening. But the reality is that communication is so much more than that. It's about understanding the other person's point of view, building relationships, and achieving your goals. That's why it's important to master the art of effective communication. And in this video, we'll show you how to do it. Effective communication is essential for building strong relationships in every area of life, whether it's in your personal or professional life. When you communicate effectively, you're able to build trust, rapport, and understanding with the people around you. This can lead to deeper relationships, improved teamwork, and increased productivity. Now, there are many benefits to mastering the art of communication. Here are just a few. Better relationships, increased influence, improved teamwork, greater productivity, reduced conflict, and increased self-confidence. Now, let's talk about the 7 keys to mastering the art of communication. 1. Know your audience. Before you can start communicating effectively, you need to know your audience. Who are you trying to reach with your message? What are their needs and interests? What is their level of understanding? Once you have a good understanding of your audience, you can tailor your message to be more relevant and engaging. One way to get to know your audience better is to ask questions. Asking questions shows that you're interested in what the other person has to say, and it helps you to understand their perspective. It also shows that you're listening, which is an important part of effective communication. Some good questions to ask include, what do you think about this? How does this make you feel? Why do you feel that way? By asking these questions, you'll be able to get to know your audience better and tailor your message to be more relevant and engaging. Another way to get to know your audience is to pay attention to their body language. Body language can tell you a lot about how someone is feeling and what they're thinking. For example, if someone is slouched in their seat with their arms crossed, they may be feeling defensive or closed off. If they're leaning forward with their hands open, they may be interested and engaged. By paying attention to body language, you'll be able to adjust your communication style to be more effective. 2. Be clear and concise. One of the most important aspects of effective communication is being clear and concise. When you're clear, you're able to express your thoughts and ideas in a way that is easy for others to understand. When you're concise, you're able to get your point across without using unnecessary words. There are a few tips that you can follow to be clear and concise when communicating. First, use simple language. Avoid using jargon or technical terms that the other person may not understand. Second, use specific examples to illustrate your points. This will help the other person to better understand what you're trying to say. Third, use storytelling to engage the other person and make your points more memorable. And fourth, practice what you're going to say. This will help you to get your thoughts organized and ensure that you're clear and concise. 3. Show empathy. Showing empathy is one of the most important aspects of effective communication. Empathy is the ability to understand and share in the feelings of another person. When you show empathy, you're letting the other person know that you care about them and that you understand how they feel. This builds trust and rapport and makes the conversation more productive. There are a few ways to show empathy when communicating. First, use active listening skills to truly hear what the other person is saying. Reflect back to them what you heard them say. And use phrases like, I understand how you feel, or that must have been difficult for you. These phrases let the other person know that you're listening and that you care. You should also be aware of your own emotions. If you're feeling angry or frustrated, take a few deep breaths and calm down before continuing the conversation. This will prevent you from saying something that you'll regret. Finally, be patient. Sometimes it takes time for someone to open up and share their feelings. Don't push them to talk if they're not ready. Just let them know that you're there for them when they're ready to talk. 4. Ask for feedback Asking for feedback is a great way to improve your communication skills and build stronger relationships. When you ask for feedback, you're showing the other person that you value their opinion and that you're open to hearing what they have to say. This can help to build trust and rapport, and it can also help you to identify areas where you can improve your communication skills. There are a few tips for asking for feedback. First, be specific about what you want feedback on. This will help the other person to focus their feedback and make it more actionable. Second, be open to all types of feedback, both positive and negative. Remember that the goal of feedback is to help you improve, so you need to be willing to listen to all types of feedback. Third, thank the person for their feedback. This is a courtesy and it also shows that you appreciate their input. 5. Don't be afraid to speak up. Sometimes it can be difficult to speak up, especially if you're in a situation where you feel like you're outnumbered or outgunned. However, it's important to remember that speaking up is a critical part of effective communication. When you speak up, you're able to express your thoughts and opinions, which can lead to better decision-making and problem-solving. Here are some tips for speaking up. First, start small. If you're not used to speaking up, start by sharing your opinions in small groups. This will help you to get comfortable with speaking up and expressing your thoughts. Second, be respectful when you speak up. Remember that the goal is to find a solution that works for everyone. So be respectful of other people's opinions even if you don't agree with them. And third, be assertive. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and what you believe in. This doesn't mean being aggressive or combative, but it does mean being firm and clear about your thoughts and opinions. 6. Learn to manage conflict. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship. The sooner you learn to manage conflict effectively, the better equipped you'll be to maintain healthy and fulfilling relationships. To manage conflict effectively, it's important to first identify the source of the conflict. Once you understand the source of the conflict, you can work to find a resolution that works for everyone involved. It's also important to remain calm and level-headed when dealing with conflict. If you get angry or emotional, you're less likely to find a resolution that everyone is happy with. Instead, take some deep breaths and try to see the situation from the other person's point of view. Finally, be willing to compromise in order to resolve conflict. Everyone involved needs to be willing to give a little. This doesn't mean that you have to give up your principles, but it does mean being flexible and understanding of the other person's needs. 7. Know when to walk away. Knowing when to walk away is an important skill in effective communication. There are times when it's best to end a conversation or walk away from a situation. This could be when the conversation is becoming heated or when it is clear that there is no common ground. Knowing when to walk away can save you from a lot of grief and heartache. Here are a few tips for knowing when to walk away. First, trust your gut. If you have a bad feeling about something, then it's probably best to walk away. Your intuition is often right, even if you can't explain why. Second, look for red flags. There are certain behaviors and attitudes that are red flags that it's time to walk away. For example, if someone is constantly negative or if they're always trying to control you, it's probably best to walk away. And third, don't be afraid to walk away. Walking away can be difficult, but it's sometimes the best option. If you're in a bad situation, don't be afraid to walk away. In conclusion, mastering the art of communication is essential for building strong relationships in every area of life. By following the 7 keys discussed in this video, you'll be able to become a more effective communicator and improve the quality of your relationships. Remember to know your audience, be clear and concise, show empathy, ask for feedback, speak up, learn to manage conflict, and know when to walk away. By following these 7 keys, you'll be well on your way to mastering the art of effective communication. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching.